Good morning. I am Maria Walden, the new Executive Director at MRTA, and I am so excited to be part of such an amazing association. MRTA has been an advocate for retirement issues and public education issues throughout its history. Our public schools and teachers are the heart of our local communities, and at MRTA, we support them. Today is Capitol Blitz Day. Today is the day that we reach out to our elected officials and mention issues of importance to our retirees and to our active public school teachers. These are the issues that will strengthen our retirement system and assist our public schools and our active teachers in having a positive impact on Missouri's school children. MRTA's vision has been to promote and protect pensions, programs, and benefits of all public school personnel in retirement. MRTA and the education community are working together to ensure that our pension and our public education system are not damaged. Our teachers, administrators, and public education employees play a vital role in the success of our students and our school districts. It is important that we show that we are active, that we are involved, that we are engaged, and that we care about our students, our teachers, and our schools. Remember, there is strength in numbers. You have received an email from MRTA that has our priorities, as well as a simple instruction on how to contact your legislators. Please take time today to reach out and make a difference. Please send them an email, please call them. Have a great day. Thank you for being members of MRTA. We have asked some special guests to speak with you today about retirement issues, our public schools, and the importance of MRTA. Next is Senator Carla Esslinger. Senator Esslinger is a lifelong educator with more than 30 years of experience in a variety of educational settings. She most recently served as a senior analyst for educational services with AEM Corporation and provided technical assistance to the U.S. Department of Education in Washington, D.C. Previously, she served as an assistant commissioner of education for the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. She began her career as an elementary school teacher and went on to work as a building principal and superintendent of schools in Ava and West Plains. A graduate of Gainesville High School, Senator Esslinger holds a bachelor's degree in elementary education from the College of Ozarks. She also earned a master's degree in education administration and a specialist degree in superintendency and educational system administration from Missouri State University. Senator Esslinger received her doctorate in educational leadership and policy analysis from the University of Missouri-Columbia. Prior to her election to the Missouri Senate in 2020, Senator Esslinger represented District 155 in the Missouri House of Representatives from 2019 through 2020. Senator Esslinger is a lifelong resident of Wascola, where she and her husband David reside on their family farm. She has also owned and operated a small business for over 35 years. They have 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren. Thank you so much, and please welcome Senator Esslinger.
Every year, I look forward to seeing my former colleagues and friends in the halls of the Capitol for the Missouri Retired Teachers Association Legislative Blitz Day. While the Legislative Blitz Day might look a little different this year, your efforts are more important than ever. Our classrooms have changed, but our mission stays the same. Our classrooms and schools have always been the heartbeat of communities, and we've learned that now more than ever over the past couple of years. Inside and outside the classroom, you continue to make a difference. And I want to take this moment to congratulate you on the community work you've been able to accomplish. In 2020, you logged over 550,000 volunteer hours, and I can't wait to hear the results from your efforts in 2021. Not only do you make a direct impact on your communities with your community service, but also through your economic contributions. Of the $3.1 billion that was distributed to retired teachers, 90% was distributed right here in Missouri's 114 counties. For each dollar that was invested by you, you produced over $6 in economic output within Missouri. The number one way we can maximize this contribution and the retirement for all teachers is by increasing starting pay for teachers here in Missouri. I was pleased to see Governor Parson outline in his State of the State that he wants to work with local school districts to raise starting teacher pay to $38,000. I applaud him on his effort and look forward to working with him to achieve this goal. I know you'll be fighting just as hard. Missouri's brightest days have yet to come, and I know that goes for our schools and teachers as well. Our students in Missouri continue to outpace the national average for graduation rates and ACT scores. And I look forward to the day when I can come back to you and tell you that with your efforts and our wonderful students, that Missouri is the national leader. Missouri is as diverse as the communities that make it up. Whether you're a West Plains Zizzer or a Chillicothe Hornet, we are all dedicated to our students. From one retired educator to another, thank you for your public service and everything you do.
We have asked some special guests to speak with you today about retirement issues, our public school system, and about the importance of MRTA. Next is Senator Elaine Gannon. Prior to her legislative duties, Representative Gannon taught junior high physical education and coached in the DeSoto Public Schools. Senator Gannon graduated from Bismarck High School in 1971, earned an associate's degree from Jefferson County Community College in 1973, a bachelor's degree in education at Southeast Missouri State University in 1975, and a master's degree in education from Southwest Missouri Baptist University in 1994. She is a staunch advocate for education in children. Born in Bonne Terre and raised in Bismarck, Senator Gannon currently resides in DeSoto with her husband Dennis. They have two sons, Andrew and Jason. Thank you. Please welcome Senator Gannon.
Greetings from the state capitol. I am Senator Elaine Gannon, and I proudly represent the 3rd Senatorial District in the Missouri Senate. I am honored to speak to you today and provide my perspectives as both a state senator and member of the Missouri Retired Teachers Association. Teachers, educators, and those who have retired from the profession are one of my favorite audiences because they truly care about children and dedicate their lives helping them grow and achieve. While I prefer in-person conversations, the past few years have taught us all to be flexible and roll with the times, a concept those of us who spent their careers in school settings are very accustomed to. Harry Truman coined the famous expression, "If you can read this, thank a teacher." He realized and understood the invaluable, yet mostly thankless role teachers play in securing our future. Having spent more than 30 years in the DeSoto Public School District, I am a staunch supporter of public education. It pains me to hear nonsense about our public schools, teachers and administrators based on hearsay, not facts, and I do not and will not hesitate to call out individuals who make false claims against our field or our students. Since March of 2020, we have witnessed our school districts navigate the pandemic with the utmost professionalism and caution. Each teacher and staff member worked tirelessly as they transitioned to remote learning, made upgrades to aging ventilation systems, and regularly disinfected classrooms and hallways. Some teachers juggled in-seat and remote learners at the same time. School counselors and nurses pitched in to monitor classrooms. Teachers became the enforcers of mask wearing, hand washing, and social distancing, while state and city leaders argued about the mitigation strategies put in place to protect our children. And yet, through all of this, nobody offered teachers extra compensation or even a thank you in most instances for keeping our children safe and virus-free. We faced with subpar pay, a shortage of substitutes, and frequent staff absences. Our teachers kept teaching and showing up for our kids. Here in the state capitol, I am all for making improvements to public education. Like America, education is a fluid, ever-evolving process of trial and error and changes for the better. Unfortunately, I believe way too many bills have been filed to derail school districts, not lift up and support those who answered the call to educate our children. Prioritizing education saving accounts or expanding charter schools does nothing to make our public schools the best they can be. I believe the latest wave of school choice policies has outshadowed what really matters, choosing to improve education for all Missouri kids, not just those who can afford to choose private education. What further deepens these divisions in our communities are vague, ineffective actions and concepts like suing school districts for mitigation the spread of COVID. Rather than directly asking a teacher or a school board about a school's curriculum, some people, many of who graduated from a public school, just believe what they are spoon-fed on social media. We all know our teachers want what is best for our students, a comprehensive, balanced education that prepares a child for future success. We also realize teachers don't have time or the energy to interject philosophical or theatrical notions onto their students. Yet, despite the spread of misinformation on social media and attacks from those who do not know the scope of the situation, teachers and students continue to thrive. When some accuse our educators of spreading hate, teachers double down with unbiased love and emotional support. When opponents try to achieve proposals that will hurt our public schools, advocates show up in groves and stand up for our hardworking and dedicated teachers and staff. When community members protest what they think is being taught in our classrooms, teachers adhere to their code of ethics and just keep teaching. As retired teachers and lifelong advocates for students, we have a strong voice and play a vital role in making improvements to education. Wouldn't it make more sense to focus on what we could and should be done rather than what a few believe is being done? Isn't it more logical to expand funding and resources for public schools rather than divert state resources to education savings accounts? This is why organizations like PSRS and MRTA are crucial to the livelihood of schools and success of students. These agencies are our eyes and ears in the world while we look at and listen to our students. They advocate for policy change while we comfort minor injuries and broken hearts. They help us thrive as professionals while we inspire students to reach their full potential. They watch over our industry while we tend to our flock. I'll close with a little catchphrase of my own from 2022. If you can imagine, think, analyze, solve, discover, question, empathize, rationalize, or prioritize, thank a teacher.
We have asked some special guests to speak with you today on retirement issues, on the public school system, and about MRTA. Next is Representative Patricia Pike. Representative Pike is the daughter of a World War II Navy veteran. She grew up helping her parents on their family farm. She was involved in 4-H and many other community activities. She is a graduate of Adrian High School and received a bachelor's and master's degree in counseling certificate from the University of Central Missouri. She retired in 2014 after 36 years serving as a high school guidance counselor, family and consumer science teacher, and parents as teachers coordinator. As an educator, she has taught dual credit coursework through Metropolitan Community College, served as an ACT Test Center coordinator, wrote and administered the A+ grant program, sponsored many students in national and state FCCLA events, and served as an in-service coordinator for teachers in the Midwestern United States. In addition to her legislative duties, she is a business and farm owner, a parent, and a grandparent. She is also the chair of House Pensions and a member of MRTA. Please welcome Representative Pike.
Greetings from the Missouri Capitol. I'm Patricia Pike, State Representative for District 126, proudly serving Bates and Vernon counties. I'm wearing red today in honor of MRTA's legislative action at the Capitol. I know it looks a little different this year, but I'm so glad that we could get together. For the past 4 years, I've served as the House Pensions Chair and also the Chair of the Public Employee Retirement System. All year long, our committees, we are working on tracking public employee retirement system health and investments. And of course, this time of year, we are looking specifically at and hearing legislation regarding public employee retirement systems. With PSRS and PEERS being the largest public employee retirement system in the state, we often work with their staff, and I have such great things to say about their staff. Easy to work with, informative, give us great opinions, prompt, and they really help us in making good decisions in what legislation that we bring forward. For more information about following legislation in the House, whether it be retirement bills or public education bills or any topic, simply go to house.mo.gov and click legislation. I want to thank you for your service to public schools. You made a difference. I want to thank you now for your contribution to your communities. You make a difference. And I want to thank especially those that stepped up to do some substitute teaching during the COVID season. You have been a great help to your public school systems and other places that you've helped with during this health crisis. I hope that you'll reach out if you have questions. I'm so glad to hear from you anytime. It's an honor to serve on your behalf. It was an honor to be a public school teacher as well and school counselor. And I just want you to know that we're working hard for you in Jefferson City. And I thank you for the opportunity to get to visit with you. Best wishes for 2022 and stay healthy.
We have asked some special guests to speak with you today on retirement issues, on the public school system, and on MRTA. Next is Representative Paula Brown. In addition to her legislative service, Representative Brown is a retired school teacher with 31 years of experience in the Hazelwood School District. She is a member of North County Labor, West County Democrats, Chesterfield Democrats, and MNEA Retired. A graduate of Pattonville High School, Brown earned a bachelor's degree in elementary education from University of Missouri-Columbia and a master's degree in education from Linwood University. Brown currently resides in Hazelwood with her husband Robert, and they have 2 sons. Please welcome Representative Brown.
Hi everyone, my name is Paula Brown. I'm the state representative for District 70. I'm a retired teacher of 31 years at the Hazelwood School District. That's in St. Louis County. Thank you for having us today. I want to talk a little bit about substitutes and what a great job our retired teachers are doing filling those positions. We have some legislation that should come to the floor shortly to help with removing the 550 barrier for retired teachers to substitute for the next 3 years. There will be a sunset on it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that get to the floor so you guys can continue to help us out in our endeavors to keep public schools safe and running well. Thanks so much. It's good to see you all.
We have some special guests today to speak with you about our retirement system, our public education, and MRTA. Next is Representative Richard Brown. Representative Brown was a public school teacher for 23 years in Kansas City Public Schools. He was a member of the Kansas City Federation of Teachers, Local 691, where he was a building representative for many years and later served as Vice President of Welfare. He graduated from Kansas City's Southeast High School in 1981, earned his Bachelor of Science and Master's of Arts degrees in 1986 and 1996 from the University of Central Missouri. He later completed another Master's of Arts degree from Webster University in 2018. He is respected in the legislature for his knowledge of public pension plans. He was appointed to the Joint Committee on Public Employee Retirement in 2017. In 2019, Representative Brown was appointed to the Missouri Tourism Commission, and prior to the start of the 101st General Assembly in 2020, he was elected as Assistant Minority Floor Leader. Please welcome Representative Brown.
And I'm State Representative Richard Brown from District number 27 in Kansas City and parts of Raytown. I'm also a retired teacher. I worked for 24 years in Kansas City Public Schools. And so I understand the importance of your retirement income. And I want you to know that we are working diligently here in Jefferson City to protect your retirement income. I want you to know that last year, over 103,000 Missourians received a pension from PSRS peers. That includes myself because I receive beneficiary benefits. And that is so important, not just the income that our retirees receive, but the beneficiaries for the survivors. We are also working, as Representative had mentioned, we are also working to fix the 550 rule so that more of our retired teachers will be able to go back to help in these critical shortage areas. It is so important that we are able to maintain teachers, good teachers, in our classrooms. And so we're trying to work to allow those of you that are experienced to return to the classroom if you should choose without any kind of disruption to your retirement income. I do want to say that right now we are working diligently for you. We know that our public schools are under attack. Even here in the state of Missouri, we're under attack by our own Attorney General because of the mask mandates. One thing that I do know is this. If we don't wear masks and do what's necessary to protect our workers as well as our children, this pandemic is going to continue. So we have to do everything and be diligent to protect our workers in the building as well as the children. As far as you, our retirees, I want to encourage you to do the things that will keep you safe during this pandemic. So again, Representative Paula Brown and myself, Representative Richard Brown, we thank you and we are here to serve you.
Thank you, everyone.
We have asked some special guests to speak with you today to show their support of our retirement system, our public schools, and MRTA. Next is Representative Rusty Black. Representative Black worked as an agricultural educator for 32 years before retiring in 2016. During his time as a teacher, Representative Black worked at Nottoway Holt R7 for 5 years and Chillicothe R2 schools for 27 years. A graduate of the University of Missouri-Columbia, Representative Black earned his Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture in 1983 and went on to graduate with a Master's in Agricultural Education by 1993. He currently resides in Chillicothe with his wife. Together they have 4 children, 6 grandchildren, and 1 due in the spring. He is also a member of MRTA. Thank you.
First, before we begin with some other talk about what's going on in the legislature and specifically with pensions, I want to thank MRTA for their recognition of Legislator of the Year. They're very proud of that honor, and working with you members and my local members that contact me from the 3 counties I represent. It's an honor to be able to serve in the legislature and help preserve and protect our pension system. With that, Maria's asked me to talk about 2 or 3 other things, and I'm going to see if we can hit those and highlight a few. First, probably the toughest one to talk about are the negatives around education today. And we oftentimes think about that as public, but those negatives are all over the place dealing with education, whether it's charter schools, private schools, etc. And those negatives, I believe, are caused primarily by change. We have a tremendous amount of change going on in our country, in our schools, in our family right now. And a professor that I had many years ago at the University of Missouri said, when you go out and start teaching ag, if you try to cause more than 10% change, it's going to be called chaos, is what you're going to do. And at this point in time, I think we're going through a lot of change, and with our social media and the way we communicate anymore, that chaos is just expanded. And if we take it in our head, and if we spend too much time listening to it, we think the world is coming to an end. I do believe that there are changes that need to happen within education, but I also believe that people are just throwing stuff all over the wall and trying to see what sticks as we go through that. And my ability to work with people from all backgrounds, I think, helps me kind of make it through this change or this chaotic time here in the Missouri State Legislature. And I also think probably if we look at the very end result, not as many things happen as we think. And there's certainly many, 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 many people around here believe in the importance of education of our youth and how valuable that is for our country. So those impacts, I believe at the end, are not quite as large as some of us feel. The next thing that I want to discuss, PSRS, PEERS system, as well as all retirement system, defined benefit retirement systems in our state. We know many people look at those and see problems with those, and those problems are compounded by 2 things that cause the chaos. Number one, many of those programs, not PSRS and PEERS, but many of those plans are not very well funded. And when you look at that, it is a difficult and sometimes tough task to deal with. I sit on the Mosers Board, Missouri State Employee Retirement System Board, and our funding ratio is 60. And there are tough decisions have to be made, and when you're funded at a rate of 60%, you become a target because people are concerned about it. Both the people receiving the benefits as well as those people that are funding the benefit. The people running the Mosers Board now are doing a good job of putting things back together and making it solid. But it took a while for it to get to that point. It's going to take a while for it to turn around and come back out. I think the turnaround has already happened. But when we discuss PSRS and peers, yes, once in a while there's people throwing some darts at it. But let me tell you, from a member of the legislature that runs the hallways and know those hidden corners that my students knew in school, I know that we're not in near the condition that some of us sometimes believe. The system is safe, it's secure. Our biggest thing that we have to worry about are helping those young teachers learn the value of that system. Each one of you watching this, if you did teach, I can remember I started in 1984. What was my number one concern? How much cash I was going to take home to be able to raise my family. And when I looked down there and seen that 8-point-whatever% coming out, I thought about that. Oh my goodness, I need that for my electric bill. I have my second baby coming, et cetera, and I needed cash. And then about my 12th year in education, I even quit looking for other jobs. I figured out I'm so far along in this, it's not wise to give it up. So I need the people in this group listening today, help educate those young teachers, help support them, get them to that year 5, and they will understand the value of the system, especially if you're the one talking to them and helping explain its value. Because if they do decide to make that jump, my wife, after having our second child, decided to pull our money out. We needed to, because she needed to quit to stay home with children. And it was difficult to make that decision. And then when she went back into education, we had to figure out a way to buy part of that time back, and it was very costly at that time, but it was a very wise decision. So I think you can end up helping that younger group of educators understand the value of the retirement system, but more importantly, if you will figure out, go mentor one, you can help them survive that first 3 or 4 years so they will stay in there. Again, I want to thank you for recognizing me as Legislator of the Year, and please reach out to me anytime you need. Thank you. Have a great year.
Our public schools and teachers are the heart of our local communities, and at MRTA we support them. Today is Capitol Blitz Day. Today is the day that we reach out to our elected officials and mention issues of importance to our retirees and to our active public school teachers. These are the issues that will strengthen our retirement system and assist our public schools and our active teachers in having a positive impact on Missouri school children. MRTA's vision has been to promote and protect pensions, programs, and benefits of all public school personnel in retirement. MRTA and the education community are working together to ensure that our pension and our public education system are not damaged. Our teachers, administrators, and public education employees play a vital role in the success of our students and our school districts. It is important that we show that we are active, that we are involved, that we are engaged, and that we care about our students, our teachers, and our schools. Remember, there is strength in numbers. You have received an email from MRTA that has our priorities, as well as a simple instruction on how to contact your legislators. Please take time today to reach out and make a difference. Please send them an email. Please call them. Have a great day. Thank you for being members of MRTA.